Right, rear mud flaps. So we've done the front mud flaps. Voila. And we are now today going to have a go at doing the rear mud flaps. Now it actually seems similar-ish to the front mud flaps. So let's start. Let's have a look what we've got. So as with the front mud flaps, there are two styles. Let's do the two styles thing first, shall we, Tyler? Should we open these up? We won't be able to sell them if we open them, but we'll put them in another bag. Right then. So you have what they call these classic, but do they just call these are just mud flaps, aren't they?
Bog standard. So
you have the two choices. Now, and you can see there the fitment is the same. They're fitting in the same holes. You wouldn't, if you were the rear bumper, you wouldn't know whether you had the one type fitted or the other. Obviously they're longer. Now, on the other one, there was some debate about these will get stuck more in sand because you sort of sink in sand, and obviously then the sand's going to be coming up to here and ripping off and stuff. So we ain't got a lot of sand around here, have we? But I know the guys in Australia, they're big into their sand and stuff. So we are going to go with the classic. So obviously the classic comes down, it's going to limit the spray. I can see why they call them classic, because they do look like the old Defender thing. You've got the big Land Rover logo on there versus this type. So we're going to go for these, but the fitting method and the instructions are the same. So what do you get in the packet? Tyler's opened these all up. So you get obviously your two mud flaps. So they even tell us left and right. Yeah, right hand. They got a material. What material have they written in there, Time? He's got eyes. I haven't.
God, TPO.
TPO, is it? I don't know. Anyway.
Is that the bit I'm reading?
Or is it that other bit? What's that other bit on top?
FV6JA.
Oh, I don't know. Normally they have to write the plastic type on me. Right, but it's a sort of quite a squidgy sort of plastic, isn't it?
Genuine.
Polypropylene of some description. Because you want some sort of deflection if you...
Yeah.
So then we've got, obviously these are just the caps that have got some nice bolts. They look quite stainlessy. And they are going to bolt on. So you get the old link to the instructions that you scan, and we'll have a look online. It doesn't take you straight to the instructions, but it takes you to the global instructions page, which is semi-helpful. And then you've got the two templates for left and right with a printed scale. So you can download the instructions, print it, and obviously after you've printed it, you've got to make sure that's the right length. So basically you're going to cut that out and stick it on. So the basic procedure is, additionally, you get these nuts and bolts here, and basically we are going to use, you're going to have a nut and a bolt go through here. So I guess they go through, we'll have a look. I guess it goes through like that, doesn't it?
Yeah.
And it goes up through, it might be easier to have a quick look here. That's going to go up through in there.
That's the painful bit. That's
the painful bit that they say you've got to put masking tape. And then that, and then from the inside of the wheel arch, you're going to put small washers, don't they? So I think I think you put two small washers and a nut. We're going to have that. Don't ask me why they do this. And then notice they're nylon nut. So you've got the little blue bit. The blue bit goes on last. So that's going to go on there. And then I'm guessing you're going to have the big washers go on there. Yeah. So I think that's what we're going to end up with. That looks right, doesn't it, Tyler?
Yeah.
Yeah. Right.
With the right amount left over.
Right. So that's how we're going to fit it on. Right. So we're going to get now. In order to get to everything we need to get, you go that side, Tyler. We're going to have to look under here. So basically we've got to somehow drill two holes in here with the template. So, and obviously to bolt the nuts on, we're going to have to get access. So the first thing we'll do, I'll just talk you through it. We're going to have to take that wheel arch liner. Yeah, they just take the back section out, don't they, Tyler?
Yeah, just
they
the
don't
back.
take it all out. And then flap it down, because it's all one piece, this one, isn't it? So you're just flapping it down. Yeah, the front mud flap's two pieces. Then there is a heat shield underneath here, and you've got to get the heat shield out the way so that you can drill up through without drilling it, and then put the nut on and then tuck the heat shield back. That seems to be what it says. So should we crack on? We haven't done this, we've got no idea what we're doing, but we've had a quick look at the instructions, and we will refer back to the instructions as we go along. Right, Tyler, I'm going to get on the camera. Right, so we've got 5 clips to remove. We removed these before, didn't we, when we took the rear bumper off?
Yeah, that's why some of them are already painted orange.
So it would It'd probably be a good idea if you fitted the rear hooks to do these at the same time, because you could do it all off the car then, Tyler. Yeah. Anyway, that's a thought for people, right? So you got the 3 clips here, then you got one sneaky one in there, and then you got one over the back there. So these are the 2-part plastic clips where you lever the middle part out. That's what I want you to know. Actually, they've gone easier with that screwdriver, Tyler, than they have with our special tool, haven't they? That's actually, I was saying to Tyler, use that just to get them out, because we've got that sort of prong tool. But yeah, he's useful for getting them.
2-part. In and out.
Plastic rivety thing.
Seen them plenty of times.
I was going to say, anyone who's watched them has seen all these before. Right, we'll let Tyler battle those 4 out. Right, so those 2 are quite clearly 2-part ones. Now these look like they're 1-part fitting, but they're not. It's just the middle part has got a bigger head, so you can't see the bit. So you've got to get just under that top bit. You might have to use the other tool.
Got to separate the 2.
You got to separate the 2, but you can only see the 1 part, so it's a bit tricky.
There we go.
There you go.
That's...
Right, so you let's have a look at that. So yes, so that's the inner insert bit you can see there, and then you can then get the other bit out, which is that. So although they look like 1-part fit in, those 2, so that applies to that one and the one at the back. You've got to wiggle the front bit off. Right, so we should be able to untuck the wheel arch liner from the bottom then. It's a sort of funny carpety material. It's quite flexible. Yeah. And then if we move that and move the light, we should, that's it, tuck it behind. Just tuck it out of the way. Right, we've then got the inside. Now obviously what we're going to do is we're going to drill some holes up through the bottom there. Can you just indicate roughly where we're going to drill the holes up? And then obviously you can see that tin. Now, apparently on diesels, you will only have the heat shield on one side. On petrols, you will have the heat shield on both sides. Now, you could just sort of lever it up, the heat shield, but there is a fixing. You just grab a light, Tyler. There is a fix in this bottom metal bracket here. And so what they're saying is if you unscrew the bolt that goes up under the bottom of that metal bracket, then I can dive underneath. You lower the light. Yeah, so we've coloured the bolt in. So you've got this little bracket. So if we can undo that, that should allow this heat shield here to sort of deform up out the way a bit. So one thing to note is we have got the suspension raised in off-road mode, which will give you more room to do all this. So make sure you do that before. The genuine instructions do say to take the wheels off, but I don't see there's any need to do that. So it's an 8mm socket. Let's have a look at that bolt, Tyler. Is he coming? Yeah, he's coming. There we go. So what are we looking at? That's the bolt we're looking at. Right, we're not quite sure where we need to get to, but we've just bent the bracket down underneath, and we can just lift that. We can lift that out the way.
I think we just need clearance.
Just so we don't drill through it, and then we can get the nut and bolt on.
Wire out the way.
And then we can tuck it all. Yeah, so obviously be careful of all these cables and wires. And it did also say be careful of the fuel tank, but I can't see a fuel tank anywhere near us on this side. Right, we're now ready to get there. Let's go and have a look what the instructions are saying. Right, so these are the genuine instructions, and it tells you to get, these are the parts you'll get. Obviously then you've got the 2 part numbers. This is the part number for the classic, and this is the part number for the standard Mudflaps. The fitting kit is the same. Obviously the template's the same. It's just the length of that extra bit that's different. Right, it gives us some disclaimer, and then it tells you to take the wheel off, undo the locking wheel nuts, remove the clips, and then just get that wheel arch liner out of the way, which we've done. Undo that bolt, which we've done on that bottom bracket. Okay. And then it says that you should be able to, it shows this bracket as a slightly different shape to ours, but it says you should be able to get, and this is the 2 areas that we need access to. So we're doing all right. We're doing all right, Tyler. I reckon we would. Right. Then it says you get the template and you can print it out with the scale. And this is what Tyler's up to now. So we've got to get the template, cut it to match the wheel arch shape, and it gives you some details about lining it up here and lining up. and then that'll allow us to mark the 2 holes that we've got to drill into the side of the rear bumper. So we're only drilling the plastic bumper, we're not drilling the side of the car. So we're going to get 2 marks. So how are we looking? How's the old cutting out going, Tyler?
I just need to cut 2 holes for where we can drill.
And then we'll mask and tape that on. The one thing we were just looking at is this parking sensor here, and how close, whether the mud flap was going to cover it. I was just getting a bit worried. But you can see there the thickness of the mud flap. It's going to come close to it, but obviously not cover it, which is good. Right, and Tyler, do you want to have a go at masking, taping your little stencil on? Right, so where are the holes? You've got your, so you got one on the side there.
One down there.
Right, go on then, Tyler. Drill into my car. I'm trying to think, I mean, you could center punch it, you could do, but I think it just, we did this before, and I think that the only tip we can give is get a good firm press, so you almost dent it with the drill before you start. And then and the other thing to be careful, Tyler, is obviously it will, once it goes through, it will fire straight in. So just be ready for it. Like that. Right, make sure you do it again, Tyler, make sure it's clear, because obviously when it winds in, you're not always clear, but hold it back, that's it. There you go, yeah. We've got a nice clean hole there. And then the other one then is going to be a little bit trickier, isn't it? He's up under there.
Just got to make sure we do it right.
Yeah, make sure you're perpendicular to the surface or it'll wander. No pressure. That's it. So one thing that seems to be happening is this inner plastic bracket that sort of reinforces this corner of the bumper is deforming. So especially when you break through the first layer, the drill shoots through and then pushes this inner bracket. You've pushed it back into place now, haven't you, Tyler? So what you may have to do is you may have to clamp. Right, let's have a go. So try again, Tyler. You drill from under there. Don't drill through your fingers, though. Yeah, you can see that bracket moving. Let me just use push so that we can I can show everyone that bracket. You see this bracket moves. So yeah, you're gonna have to clamp that. We'll get a clamp on that. Right, so we're gonna put a little. We got one of those little Irwin clamps. They're quite good there. It doesn't need to clamp it that hard as long as it stops it moving. And then you should be there then. So yeah, they haven't got that in the instructions, but there we go. And I don't think it's anything we've done to break our car. I think that's it. That's better, and it's come through on the flat now. So there you go. If you have that problem, just get a little clamp on that. That's good. Right, so the next step is we've got to offer the mud flap up into place. Right, I've left Tyler to do the other side while I had some lunch. And look what he's gone and done. He's an animal. So basically he was tightening it. He's done a good job. He was tightening it up and he wanted to get it nice and tight. But if you go too tight, what you will do is you will spin these. So once it's brought it up and you've got no play left, don't over tighten these nuts. Or you're going to be in the situation where we're going to have to get some glue or some epoxy resin and something. And then we can get it mostly back under there like that. So it's not the end of the world. We'll save the day, don't worry. But a little warning for everyone out there, don't go berserk with the tightening, because it's only to hold it in place, just to pull it in tight. You don't need to have any massive force. You've got nylocks as well, so it's not like if you don't do it tight, it's going to vibrate loose. It's not going to vibrate loose. So there we go. We'll get that on, and then we'll get back on this other side. So we've got the 2 holes at the side done here. And get the light round so you can see. So we've got those 2 holes done there. And what we've got to do is just tilt the mud flap towards me, Tyler. Is we've got to do those 2 holes at the top. So the way you do this is you get the 2 that we've already done in, and then we'll line up and we'll use a pen to go through. Now, Tyler's just done the other side, and he's worked out that you've got to put this top one in first and then rock that bottom one in. If you try and put them both in together where they're sort of diagonally going in against each other, you struggle. So give that a go, Tyler. Don't smudge my lovely Land Rover painting.
Be careful.
Okay,
that's
so
the top one in.
Yeah, and then you've got a. Okay, it's not too bad, is it?
Yeah, it's worse on the side, but.
There you go.
So that's what it would be.
And then when you got it where you want it, you got to sort of
Yeah, I've got to bend it.
You've got to bend it, which is a bit counter because you're sort of bending it out of the shape of where you want it in a way, aren't you? Yeah.
Yeah.
There we go. So if you whoop that off, we should have 2 holes, and then 9mm again, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there we go. We've got 2 lovely orange holes under there. I guess you've got to do it the opposite way to that side. Yeah. Right, so we'll get those 2 holes drilled out. Right, so we've got everything laid out. So we've got the mud flap. So the instructions are saying we've got to bolt these 2 first, but Tyler thinks we're probably better off getting those 2 in first, but not tightened up, and then getting the bottom 2 tightened up. Is that what we're reckoning?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The bottom 2 are the trickier.
So the top 2, they've already got, obviously the stud is molded into the mud flap, so you just need the big washer and that. And then those other 2, you need to get your bolt with your plastic top hat washer like so sorted. Are you going to fire those in first? Because you've got to get them into that sort of cavity in there, haven't you?
The instructions say to get it in and then put these in, but otherwise you're sort of blocking yourself.
Yeah, yeah. Because the instructions say you're supposed to mark the inside of the mud flap with a bit of a masking tape to stop scratching it, but I think the way you got it there, Tyler, is pretty...
It's better.
Yeah. Right. Right, so you're gonna sort of start with that top one, and then that one. Yeah, seems a good idea.
I found I get a better view from being over here as well, because I can see both the bolts and the holes.
Yeah.
Top one.
I'll hold that gently for you.
Right.
Yeah, I can see those. Yeah, I can see those coming through there.
So they're all in.
Do you want me to get them? So we've got to put 2 washers on. I still don't get the 2 washer thing. Right, let me try and get one on that. Sorry, I've got my hand in the way. You keep that up there, Tyler, and then I'll get that other nut on there. Get the nut up the right way around. Right, I got that started for you, so yeah. So you can get the rest in there. It should hold itself now, Tyler. You can do the rest of them. There you go. Ta-da! Right, we'll let Tyler get on and put the rest of those in, and then we'll come back and see how he's getting on. Right, so there we go, we got it all finished. That is the classic rear mud flaps fitted to the Land Rover Defender. Just scan in around there. My wheel arch, I've got to clip that wheel arch back on. So they're the classic ones. Obviously we've painted the white in, that doesn't come, you'll have to do that yourself. But there we go, good luck with doing that.